The painting, which the print is is called Red Toyota, and it's the first one of a series of paintings about car crashes. It was the first one. Um, all the cars and the wrecks I found at Google.
Oh, interesting.
And if you look in Google for car accidents and so on, you will find hundreds of websites about accidents. And that particular car, the wreck, is made of 3 different accidents.
Huh.
What happens is that when they make the internet, they are so destroyed, so smashed, that basically they don't look like cars. Mostly because the cars today, a lot of it is plastic, and they just break in two and so on. One thing I learned with that painting is, if you want interested me about cars, is that there's Americans, we love cars, and it's our second home, really. Coffee, radio, a little perfume things hanging. That there, now we have phones, and we are driving along, and we are going to here and there, and it's never, of course, in our mind that we are going to have an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And it can happen any second. And it points out to me, anyways, the frailty, of life, how easily it can go away. One moment here and one moment after that gone. So the car can have many, many meanings, iconography. For me, is that the car crash is how fast life can go away, how death is always there for all of us, of course. So it's, yes, a morbid thing. Also, there is an implication that we as a species are not going to be here forever, and that the planet will survive. And some of the fossils that we left behind, I have a painting called Fossils. It has to do with a SUV in a sort of a jungle, being overtaken by katsu. It's the cars, our civilization left behind. And I don't know, sort of interesting to me. Make paintings about car accidents and have the impact, the emotional impact. You have to put a road in the painting. As it is, I learned that with this first painting, there is not a road in Red Toyota, therefore it looks like an abandoned car. And which is fine with me. But if you want the immediacy, like it just happened, like the accident just happened, and then you have to put
The road.
a part of the road or a road in the paint. My name is Paul Sierra. I was born in Havana, Cuba in 1944. That's a long time ago, isn't it? Oof, older than cheese. I came to the States in 1961, and I have lived mostly in Chicago all my life. I went to the Art Institute of Chicago and the school, and now I'm here in Austin, Texas. When I was young, one may think about death, but it's not an immediate thing. Mm-hmm. It is, intellectual thought. When you get older, it becomes a familiar thing. And time, you are very much aware of time. What this series of paintings, that's what you're asking me about, have to do with it? Yes, I would say that when I was young, I would never have occurred to me to paint, cars in accidents and so on. It would have been more of idealistic, or me against death, long live life.
I see.
But not now. I wouldn't paint black now. No, folks say, well, it's your palette that is, Latin American, or foreign, Cuban, whatever. I don't know. I don't go to the studio say I'm gonna do a Cuban painting. I just gotta go and try to do my very best. I had a friend, his name was Ed Paschke. He passed away a couple of years ago, and his palette was by far more vibrant and violent, than mine. And he was, third generation American and of Czechoslovakian
Yeah.
heritage. So I don't know. I think people perceive things. What makes you a foreigner many times is the accent. Once the words make you a foreigner, everything else follows. About the painting that you mentioned, Family Portrait, it's the only painting that I had made about immigration that I remember.
Okay.
About my family. My mother had just died a few years previously, I guess. No. And I made that painting. It's not really a portrait. It's more of a representation, I guess, of a family, and all four of us were a small family, and now only my brother and I are left. And he lives in California, and I don't see him often. And he's older than me and frail. So yeah, someday I should go back and visit the museum and see the painting.
Yeah.
But it's the only painting that I have really made having to do with exile. Well, I think for a painter, and maybe I just speak of myself, I think that making screen prints or lithographs is very difficult. I only have done 5, counting this one, and I had described it like feeling like Ginger Rogers, doing everything backwards and in high heels. And in painting, what you see, you put it down, is what you get. And multiples, you have to mix the colors in your head. You need, I think, in order to produce a real good print, you have to have certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for? You have to have it done it several times before, and do it one time after another. You have to, right now I just finished this print. I feel like I would like to start all over again, and I would not commit the mistakes that I see. Maybe I'm just too judgmental and too hard on myself, but I think I can do better.
Really? It looks
But it
beautiful
is
from what I
rewarding,
saw.
by the way. It's rewarding because it is not like painting. It is, you get this feeling of you're working with the process.
More planning, I think, would be involved as
Yes.
opposed to intuition.
Right.
Right.
Right. But it's a process, most possible, that is, I don't know anything about the history, but it's older, most possible, than oil paintings.
Yes.
Yeah, I work in series. For example, I have done 11 car wrecks. I have done 27 swimmers. I work with Greek mythology, so I have done like 20 sun. I don't remember Icarus and so on and so on and so on. And then I just do landscape, which I imagine landscape. I just come up with it, and I mix trees from different parts of the country and so on. So they are imagined landscape. What projects I have? Well, I have been really cutting back on all my galleries, and the reason for it is, first of all, it takes a lot of energy. I used to have 11 galleries, and I only have one now, and that's in Chicago. And I just don't want to deal with dealers anymore. I just, I would sell to my old collectors from my studio, through agents and so on. That's what I'm doing now. I'm getting ready just to work.
Slow down and
No, it's not. I still work 6 days a week. But I don't want to deal so much with the business. There are two worlds. One is the art world that you and I are, and and that is a wonderful thing, and you know, wonderful people, and then there's the business. There are business, which is you know having to do with the resume and who you meet,
Yeah.
and who butt you kiss, and you know, and that I hate to go to art fairs, I hate to go to openings. I know I'm getting to be a cranky old man. I think the arts will go more and more into electronics. I think that painting that I deal with, oil on canvas, is already a very old-fashioned. Fewer and fewer people are making it, doing it. I don't think that you have to go to art school today and even try to draw. Even the major European universities sometimes don't have drawing courses for their students. But at the same time, I think the electronics will be making people feel that they need to be entertained, and the entertainment has to be immediate. And I'm painting for one. In order to really get a lot out of it, you have to have a certain amount of education. You have to spend a certain amount of time going to museums and galleries and so on. It's an educating process where today I don't think folks have the time for that. Entertainment is the word.
How
Well,
did it work out?
I would like to say that this is a great opportunity for any artist, any painter. I will tell my friends, and I want to say wonderful things about all of you, how professional you all have been, and how kind.
Great.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Pleasure having you. Okay. Thank you.